Now, the royal member Zara Tindall has finally spoken out about the monarchy's feud with her cousin Prince Harry. What did Zara have to say?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're into royal family drama, insider updates and the stories behind the headlines, you're in the right place. So, let's get started. Today, we're diving into Zara Tindall's rare comments about the ongoing tensions within the royal family, especially with her cousin Prince Harry. This is the first time we've really heard anything from her side, and while it wasn't a bombshell, it was definitely revealing. Stick around to find out more. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future updates from inside the palace walls. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.
Yes, so, Zara Tindall is, again, like all the other members of the royal family, very, very private about these issues with Harry. It's very one-sided. It has been really up until this point. If you think about it, we've had the Oprah Winfrey interview. Harry's done subsequent interviews, most recently for the BBC, talking about this estrangement directly. We've never really had that from the royal family, but Zara Tindall was at an event last week in the UK where she was asked some questions by the audience, and she sort of, I guess in a roundabout way, did chime in on Harry. She kind of said that, look, we're a family like any family. We go through challenges, but she also said that they support each other. I think that's probably all we may ever know from the royal family side, because they do not talk about these kinds of things directly. So I think even Zara saying that, it was such a small statement, but in a way a huge statement, because it's an acknowledgement, I think, of the rift, which is what people have really sort of taken notice of. It's also Zara Tindall's birthday today, so happy birthday to
Zara Tindall.
44. But yeah, I think that she handled it well. I think she acknowledged it, but she also sort of went straight back to saying, look, we're a family, we're a unit. She paid a lovely tribute to her grandmother, Queen Elizabeth. And yeah, I'm a fan of Zara Tindall.
Of course. Now, Princess Catherine looked very fabulous in a stylish Victoria Beckham suit during a royal engagement this week, but some fans are convinced that she might be sending a secret message to the Beckhams. What's all this about?
Yeah, well, this is another interesting parallel kind of story where, the Beckham family, who are in many ways the unofficial sort of celebrity royal family in some ways in the UK, they're going through their own turmoils. There's rumours, allegedly, that there's a falling out between their eldest son, Brooklyn, his wife, Nicola Peltz, and the Beckham family. That has sort of come up again in recent weeks, allegedly after some absences, including at David Beckham's bash, big 50th birthday bash. And people think that maybe Kate is sort of sending a bit of support because, they're both, in a way, going through these sort of family feuds. She wore this stunning olive Victoria Beckham suit, very stylish. And she does wear a lot of Victoria Beckham, I will say. This isn't the first time she's worn one of Victoria's designs, but I think it was, the time of it, I think, was a bit of a message of support, because we know that the Beckhams have been very supportive of the royal family. They've really doubled down on that in the last 18 months. So I think that this is sort of a mutual thing. It's kind of like, I see you, I respect you, I know what you're going through. And she looked fantastic.
Yeah, she absolutely did. Now, royal insiders are claiming that Prince William is already making plans to sideline the Sussexes when he becomes king. Now, what's prompted Will to act, and could the Sussexes actually be banned from Will and Kate's coronation?
So let's start with where all this is coming from. Zara Tindall, daughter of Princess Anne and one of the more low-key royals, was at an event in the UK last week. Someone in the audience asked her about Prince Harry and the tensions in the royal family. Now remember, Zara doesn't usually talk about this stuff. In fact, the entire royal family has kept mostly silent since Harry's explosive interviews and that infamous Oprah chat. But this time, well, things were a little different. Zara gave us a tiny glimpse behind the curtain. Prince William's hard line, but not everyone in the royal family is playing nice. According to insiders, Prince William is reportedly done with Harry and Meghan. There are even rumours that he's planning to completely sideline them when he becomes king, including banning them from his coronation.
Right, well, this has cropped up again, essentially, because a royal insider called Hugo Vickers has spoken out. He's spoken to sources directly inside the palace. And we knew this. We know that William has been furious about the Sussexes' antics. He's taken a much harder line than King Charles has, and we know that he was outraged about when he found out that Meghan's still using the HRH title recently. That really allegedly infuriated the Prince of Wales. And The theory is now that he will be taking steps from day dot, basically, when he becomes monarch. And the first step could be excluding them formally from the coronation. Obviously, William didn't have a hand in the King's coronation, and of course, Harry was invited to that. He attended. He wasn't in the front row. He was in the third row with the sort of extended family members, but he was there. But the idea now is that once the crown moves to William, it's not necessarily... there's no real precedent necessarily for having Harry there. There's actually a precedent where the Duke of Windsor was excluded from his brother's coronation. So there's actually, William would be totally justified in not inviting Harry at all, which is quite shocking when you think about there was a time not that long ago when Harry, Meghan, Will and Kate were considered the future of the royal family.
Yes.
I think that is absolutely never going to happen. I think now it's William and Kate, their family, and maybe, some of these other cousins. But I think that Harry and Meghan, when Will takes the throne, are going to be history. Yeah,
I tend to agree with you. Riley Sullivan, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour.
Thank you.
Apparently, William was furious over Meghan continuing to use her HRH title, and he's taking a much harder stance than even King Charles. It's wild to think how far they've fallen from that Fab Four image. Remember that? Will, Kate, Harry and Meghan, supposed to be the future of the monarchy? Well, not anymore. Public perception shifting. And here's where things get interesting. The public is starting to notice the quiet strength of royals like Zara. She's not doing interviews. She's not throwing anyone under the bus. But in just one sentence, she brought humanity back to the royal image. No drama, just a reminder that they're a family, with real problems like any other. And maybe, just maybe, this is how the royal family will move forward. Not with statements, but with small, meaningful moments like this. So what do you think? Was Zara's comment a carefully crafted PR move or a heartfelt moment of honesty? Do you think there's any hope of reconciliation between the royals and the Sussexes? Let me know in the comments. I'm reading all of them. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel for more royal updates, deep dives and untold stories. Hit that like button if you found this interesting, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.